Did it come with a code?
It should. That's what I heard they said. So for that actual book, I was able to buy the code online without the book.
For this book?
Yeah, for that book, because I just did the Connect external link and bought the code online.
That's for the e-text. That does nothing for you for the lab manual.
Yeah, I get that. I was just saying for that book, I didn't have. Oh, that's the lab manual.
This is the lab manual.
Okay.
So the Connect external link that you went through, that is only for the textbook. It doesn't do anything for the lab manual. And the reason I'm doing this, it doesn't feel like it's got that little piece of cardboard. Okay, that's what I'm wondering, if maybe they put something else in here that's not really the cardboard. And the problem is, does the bookstore take anything back when it's open? Yeah, great. All right. Okay, well, that's going to be interesting. We'll check it on break.
I'm not on here, so I just have
Okay, so the lab manual you're going to want, okay? Now, so far as, like, if you're sitting beside someone that you know, and if they've bought the lab manual, I don't care if you share, okay? But the one thing that you are going to need, you're going to need that code, okay? Now, that can be purchased the first time you click on the external link. So when you click on the external link, and you follow, like for example, if you've taken the course before and you're taking this for the second time, you can use the email address and password you already created, and that will take you to my course that I've created. However, for you to be able to get into anything, it's still going to ask you for that code. Now, if you haven't used this before, you can go over and you can begin to do a registration. And if you choose to register now, that's going to ask you to create a username and a password. I recommend using the same thing that you use to log into Blackboard. So that way, you just know and you don't have to worry about keeping up the gazillion passwords. So I would recommend that. Then, if you've bought the lab manual, and hopefully there's a code in there, okay, use that code. If you haven't bought the lab manual, it will once again prompt you to buy a code. This will give you the access to the e-textbook. Okay, so this should be something similar to what you see when you log in. Has anyone ever used the McGraw-Hill before? Okay. When you log in using the link that I give you, you're going to see my class listed. As you can see, I've been using it for quite a while. Okay, so what'll show up, hopefully, okay, is this right here. All right, so you would simply click on it after you've done the code and that sort of thing. Now it gives you access to the e-textbook. When you log on to the e-textbook, now, you know, your views are going to be a little bit different, but, you know, you'll see the links, okay? And when you are using the e-textbook, it will give you an option if you want a paper copy of the book, that you can purchase a paper copy, I think, for like $35. And it sends you a paper copy that you would like put into a 3-ring binder. Okay, so it would have all of that for you. But some of the stuff that I kind of wanted to show you that's available to you for this textbook, you can see video images. When you click on those, it takes you through every single chapter of the book. Okay, images will do the exact same thing. When you go to a particular chapter and you click over here to the end, okay, when you get to, well, let's look at the chapter 1 ending. The chapter 1 ending, as you begin to look through that type of information, giving you a couple of questions to look at, some of the vocabulary. I don't do true falses, okay? Class started at 11. We will be discussing this. Right here, improve your grade at. When you begin to click on that information, it takes you to an enormous amount of links and materials. And once again, class started at 11. We will be discussing this. You simply come over here, you would choose the student edition. And when you choose the student edition, you'll be able to drop down for each chapter. And it will have tons of links for you to go to for that. Okay? So that is quite a bit of information that's available to you through the e-text. Because one of the things about our class, because it is 8 weeks, it is going to move fast, I try to keep the material on a level that you're going to be able to understand. And I also have all of my lectures recorded. Okay, I have the YouTube channel that I just put up for you. I've got lectures going back 2 years on my YouTube channel. Okay. And so I have everything that I can to be available for you, all right? Because we are going to have a lot of material we've got to cover in a short amount of time, okay? Now, so far as the Blackboard itself, is everybody okay with the McGraw-Hill? Any questions? Okay, so when we get to Blackboard, this should be what you see when you log on, okay? So, announcements from this point forward, when I create an announcement, I'll always click the ability for it to be sent to your email. This will, however, be sent to your JSarge email. So you need to check that email regularly. Well, that's a term to get out. So make sure you check that. The announcements will be how, like if, for example, I look through the syllabus and I might have a date wrong, okay? I will correct the date on the syllabus, post the updated one on Blackboard, and let you know by way of an announcement, all right? It will let you know each week, the weekly announcement. For our purposes, the weekly announcement's pretty much not going to change, okay? I kind of have an idea of how material is going to move, what we'll be able to get covered in that week, but as you can see, we've already missed a day this week, okay? So that's already put us behind. So the announcements, they'll pretty much be universal. This tab right here, this is the tab where you'll find all of your assignments. For example, the Connect assignments, which will be what you're going to need that code for McGraw-Hill. When you click on this folder, it'll take you to chapters 1 and 2 that you can see I've already created for this week. So they need to be completed by 11:59 on Sunday. I think that's Sunday's date. Okay, so make sure you work through those. These assignments, they are assignments that I have created, okay? Basically, it's a lot of labeling, because that's really what I want you to know. I'm going to teach you the physiology portion, what I want you to know, okay? So a lot of this is just simply going to be drag and drop, okay? Practice, I guess you could say. And you can complete them as many times as you want to, okay? There's no limit, all right? So let's say the first time you work on it, you didn't like your score, you want to get 100, go back and do it again, okay? If you're happy with the 95, let it go, okay? Once the due date has passed, passed, you can come back and work on strictly for practice. And it doesn't change your grade. Does that make sense? So that's how the assignments for the chapters will work. If you go back, you'll see that I have a section for labs. But if you click on that, it's empty now because we haven't completed a lab. Okay? So once we complete a lab, I will put up, say for example, lab 1. Because in your lab manual, that we don't, has anyone purchased and opened theirs? Did it come with something for the code?
Yeah, I have mine at home, but I've already connected to it.
Okay, so hopefully that's in there.
It comes in the first half of the book. Like right in that
Was it
first
just
page.
like a flimsy piece of paper?
Yeah, it was just this is connected and the barcode is on the back.
And you just kind of scratch it. Who suggested that?
It's a package. It comes as a package.
In other words, you purchased this.
Well, yeah, so I'm not dividing it. We've already bought the book online.
You bought this online.
No, I bought the code online, so I'm going to buy the book twice.
Okay, this is where I was saying earlier. If you're sitting beside someone who has the lab manual, and if they're like, hey, I'm okay with you making copies, but you got to pay for those copies. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay.
Okay. And she might want to charge you for the time that you're going to have her manual. So if you want to charge her for the time she's got your manual, I'm just saying, make a buck. You know, just saying. Okay. So what you'll find as we go through the labs, let's see. Okay, let's say we have completed lab 1. At the end of the lab, we have this sheet right here called the review section. This I have created in Blackboard. You simply go in, provide the answers. All right? You either do the short answer, you fill in the blank, or you choose the multiple choice or the true false, whatever the question might be. But whatever you see here, this is what I have created in Blackboard. Does that make sense? Okay? So for example, when we finish lab 1, I will go in under the labs folder, I will add that, there will be a link, and you simply complete it by Sunday of that week. So chances are, we'll work on lab 1 tomorrow, I'll make it available, you complete it by Sunday. Does that make sense? All right, so that's how we'll do the labs. Any questions so far?